Is it true that you were in love with the character Madoka from Orange Road?
Yeah, I was crazy about her.
Crazy?
I was there and watched Madoka. Oh no, Madoka-san was given life every week.
Oh, okay. So how was it like looking at her being drawn on papers?
At the time, I was furiously grateful to God.
Didn't you also help drawing the character?
Actually, yes, I did.
That means you have got to touch her, right?
Yeah, I have been a part of every moment of Madoka's birth, down to the tips of her hair. I was so happy.
That sounds good.
To draw rough sketches of her. Mr. Matsumoto, the creator of Madoka, had collected photo albums, bikini photos from magazines, and other materials. Those photos were all over the floor, and I enjoyed looking at them. Like, oh, this is the origin of Madoka's birth.
You were very pure.
This made me really happy every week. Overnight working was tough physically, however. I was like, give me more of this.
How old were you back then?
Around 22 to 24 years old.
Yeah, you might have been pure back then.
You debuted right after Orange Road was finished.
I was too busy to go help with the ending of the manga, unfortunately. The first episode of the manga, Wizard, was drawn while assisting the work of Orange Road as an assistant. Then I managed to receive some work, so I drew one story mangas. I was so sad being away from Madoka. It's obvious that Mr. Matsumoto lost a workforce because I started working independently, right? But he always called me even though he knew I was busy with my work. I said, I can't help you right now, Sensei.
Wow, really?
Even if I did go, I could have been killed by the editor, as he was taking care of both of us. Oh, never mind, he Mr. Takahashi wasn't Mr. Matsumoto's editor anymore.
It's like how Mr. Nagai, a former assistant of Mr. Ishimori, continued helping with Mr. Ishimori's work even after quitting his assistant position.
I know what exactly it feels like.
Yeah, I do too.
In the end of Orange Road, I felt sorry for the character Hikaru.
Yeah, she might have been sad, but it had to be the way.
You had that faraway look in your eyes. What were you looking at?
I was talking as if she was my acquaintance. No matter what, Hikaru had to go through all that. Yeah, it had to be the way. Earlier when we were talking about the comic, Tonda couple, in the end of the story, the heroine Ki just sent off her crush Yusuke, without saying anything because she couldn't be honest. On the other hand, Hikaru didn't hesitate to confess her feelings.
Yeah.
You take romantic and comedy comics seriously.
Yeah, because I love rom-com such as the mangas by Mr. Adachi and Mrs. Rumiko Takahashi. That's why I love Orange Road. I was thinking this manga's contents were similar to the ABC drama, Bewitched. The reason why I love Orange Road is because Mr. Matsumoto had good taste in creating the story. He got a hint from Bewitched and created rom-com from it. Mrs. Takahashi has similar taste as well. I was impressed, like, wow, it's new that he took a reference from American drama. What kind of rom-com story would that be that the main character has its psychic power? And it was also stylish.
Can you tell us about Mr. Izumi Matsumoto? How was he?
When he passed away, I managed to make a memorial book for him. With my friend's corporation. The book couldn't contain my message for him as it was very long, so I posted it on my website instead. I found somebody posted it on that he had never got angry at anyone no matter what. Mr. Dirty Matsumoto was also rare to get mad.
His name doesn't sound like it though.
He loved baseball and was once angry with me because I was not a good baseball player. I was like, Sensei, can I just make him throw the ball instead of hitting with a bat? He answered, that's not what I'm looking for. I have never met any manga artists getting mad at me when I went help for them.
Oh, nice.
Conversely, I can't think any scary artists. When I was at other studios, I was told that Mr. He prefers a regular and sticky onigiri, so if you get ones wrapped with crunchy seaweed accidentally, you will end up going back to the store and get a new one. I thought he was mean for doing that.
Have you actually met Mr. Kim in person?
I have, but when I met him, he didn't look like he'd do such a mean thing. We had drinks together before. Mr. Izumi Matsumoto was a cheerful and easygoing person. One day I was called into work to Chiba. I saw the glass windows in the studio had some cracks in them, and a wall-mounted phone was pulled off of a wall and smashed. I was concerned about what happened there. Later on, I realized that Mr. Matsumoto was having a meeting with his editor Mr. Takahashi right before I got there.
Was he going crazy?
Those two weren't hesitant to have confrontations. They argued and mentioned about continuing the work or not all the time. After that, he hopped in his car SOARER to run off, and the editor chased after and caught him. There are many similar stories about them. I assume that Mr. Matsumoto spent all of his madness during the meeting and was burned out.
But he had never shown how tired he was to his assistants, right?
Right. Compared to him, I'm ashamed of myself for showing frustration.
Which manga artist did Mr. Matsumoto like?
He loved Mr. Fujihiko Hosono and Mr. Taku Tsumuji. Mr. Matsumoto used to say, "I want to draw like the manga Hot Road."
I can see why he named his manga Orange Road.
Only the word road was the same.
I think Hot Road came out later. I'm not really sure though.
Oh yeah, right. It came out in 1986.
Then he was having fights with his editor Mr. Takahashi. Like, Hot Road can't be accepted.
Was he influenced by girls' comics?
He loved them so much.
I think the influences from anime were big to him as well as Mr. Mutsumi Inomata.
Can we dig more about the story?
The reason why Mr. Matsumoto hired me was because I included a copied drawing of Miss Inomata's in my application.
For real?
Yeah, for sure.
Did you have a connection with Ms. Inomata?
Yeah, I have hung out with her a few times before, like drinking together. Sadly, I got too drunk to remember what we talked about.
You must have been super happy, so drank a lot, right?
She's visited my studio in Kanji, but again, I don't recall the memory. I found a paper. He roughly sketched a character, Yoko, from his manga Lita. I was wondering why the sketch was in my studio. Where did it come from?
Because you didn't remember her coming to your work.
I was like, oh, I think I got wasted. And there was a French man, and then... Wait, where did the French man come from? Is Inomata and Ms. Mase Hashimoto once came to my studio together to hang out with me. There were our staffs too. I kind of remember we started partying. But the memory of the rest of the night was gone.
The volume of Madoka's hair was increasing more and more. Was it also influenced by Ms. Inomata?
Yeah.
In the beginning of the story, she had less hair.
But at the time, we were already increasing her hair volume. When her face's angle was diagonal, Mr. Matsumoto drew the eye in the back and the eye in the front along a round line. This technique is from Ms. Inomata.
Mr. Hoshino used to use the touch too.
Yeah, he did.
So did Mr. Yoshinori Kanada.
I call myself a manga police.
Especially a strict one.
When I first looked at Mr. Matsumoto's drawings. Oh, do you know of Mr. Toru Mizushima? I thought Mr. Matsumoto's drawing looked similar to Mr. Mizushima's beginning era of his drawings.
Probably.
In Mr. Mizushima's manga, there's a character called Kazushi. I think he took the idea from Orange Road.
Oh, I see. By the way, the body of this character was drawn by me. I pasted color tones all the way to the top.
That is very interesting.
Actually, I learned how to draw the curve of the lower back from this drawing.
Oh, nice. But Mr. Matsumoto drew the rough sketch first though. I think he worked on this character to the middle way. I did the clothes details.
Yeah, looks like it.
He told me that I could paste color tones, just like how they do with anime cells. I've always thought of using this method. We can take advantage of screen tones to make 3D shadows with mangas, however cross-hatching method is faster.